I'm in the barn. I've just had to basically get up and dash to get some stuff packed because UPS is coming today. It's stuff that was in last week's sales video but didn't need dispatching until this week. So we tend to leave that over the weekend, get UPS to come here on Monday. So I've got to pack the Cornish ware. It's a jug, a cookie jar or something, and another jug. And a lot of you are interested in sort of how we would go about packing something like that. We've had a lot of messages, people who have mugs, candles, vases that they don't want to list for sale because they're worried about packing them. So what we'd like to do is just show you how we do it. We get very few breakages. We have had one recently, but you know, we're always confident that we've given it every chance, and where there are breakages, the customer always states that they could see it was really well packed, and it's just unfortunate that it's been mishandled. And when I say mishandled, you know, at the end of the day, it is our responsibility to pack it as well as we can. So I don't blame the couriers, you know, they're not forcing us to put this sort of stuff through the post. But you know, it is what it is basically. Some things do get damaged, but it's a very small percentage. So this is the barn. This is where we store some of our stock. We are pretty aware that it's not 100% weatherproof, so we have to have damp traps and silica gel, this sort of thing. If you can see that, I think that's a yeah, it's like a big silica gel sachet. Oh, there. It's pointing at completely wrong thing. So we have those in all the tubs. We're sort of regularly checking stuff, making sure it's okay. It's not too bad in here. I've recently painted all of these shelves with anti-mold spray, anti-mold paint, and then we've got them covered in like plastic wrapping. I've still got to do these ones. We have to keep it as clean as possible. These are fine because these are plastic and metal shelving. And then around here we have a few of the board games that are on eBay and Amazon merchant fulfilled, but we most of our games go into FBA, but what doesn't go in sits in here. And then this is the sort of packing area. So I've got all my poly bags. Sorry it's so dark in here. This is kind of as dark as it is, unfortunately. But I've got my bubble wrap hung up on bungees, easy to use, and keep my eye on the dogs when they're out and about harassing the cows at the bottom of the field. So yeah, I'm just going to try and position the camera somewhere where you can see exactly how I do it. So they're already bubble wrapped just from storage. What I'm essentially going to do is bubble wrap them again. I'll take the lid out of this and that'll get wrapped separately, and we don't want that bashing around. So I'll wrap them again. There's another lid rattling around in here as well, so they need to come out and get wrapped separately. Everything will get wrapped again, then they'll get boxed, then they'll get wrapped. Those boxes will get wrapped, and then those 3 boxes will go in a bigger box, which I'm not exactly sure what box I'm going to use at the moment. I've got a few ideas, but I haven't got lots of big boxes. These are kind of shoebox size and smaller. Right, so I've got you sort of wedged at an angle. Tried to angle it down. Try a bit more without it sort of popping. You wedged between 2 pin boards at the moment. So this is the box that we had it stored in. It's quite sturdy. I don't know what you call this kind of cardy, woody stuff. It's not really wood, it's like plywood almost. But now, although they were stored in there, once I've wrapped them up, it's not going to be anywhere near big enough. But I might be able to utilise it somewhere along the line. So this one's fine. There's no lid for this, so I'm going to wrap that one first. Just get these out of the way. So this is 1/2 metre wide bubble wraps, just small bubbles, very cheap. It's about Usually get it for around £10 for 100 meters. We do use quite a lot. Always better to use more than you need. Any little things that you learn from people. I was constantly trying to, I mean, it sounds silly really, I was constantly like trying to cut across a long part, but just screw it up. I'm then going to fold this in half. So I've got a long piece, and I'm obviously just going to wrap this jug. I probably won't edit out the noise of taping, so apart from that bit, if you've got headphones on or anything, just bear that in mind. Now, if this was a fragile handle here, like a little jug, I use empty tape rolls, and I basically squeeze them and I pop that over the handle. But this is a pretty substantial handle, so I'm not going to do that, and it doesn't really fit over it, but I could do, and it would offer that area some really good protection. What I do next is make sure that I'm protecting the top and the bottom. So for the top, I'm just going to fold all that in, so I've got a really nice surface of bubble there, and then tape it over. And then here, same thing. Going to just push it in, but I'm going to put a little bit more in there because there's not too much, so I'll just get some offcuts. I know a lot of people use tape guns. I just don't get on with them. They always get jammed. I've probably only ever had cheap ones. Maybe I need to look into that. So it's not bad, but it is still a little bit exposed here, so I'm just going to pop a little bit more bubble. It's good at the bottom, but at the top I can still feel that edge a little bit more than I'd like. So I've now got a really nice layer, and now I'm just going to put more tape over there just to hold that in place. Now, generally when you buy this sort of stuff, I know I'm not in the camera, let's have a seat. Really want to be aiming for kind of quite a high price to make all this effort worthwhile. I can't remember how much this set sold for. It was in the last sales video. I think it might have been around 25 or something, which is okay for the amount of work that I'm just about to put in. But unfortunately, when some things don't sell and we drop the price, and then I'm packing something, I don't know, like this or a mug or something for kind of a tenner, it starts to get a little bit, well, quite a lot less worth it. So you just sort of have to think about that when you're picking this sort of stuff up. Ultimately, you want to be making the effort that you're going to put in worthwhile, which is another reason why we bundle stuff up, because when you bundle stuff up, you're going to get a higher price because you've got more than one item. So that's another reason, is just increasing the average transaction value, but also making any effort that you're going to in packing more worthwhile. So that's that one done. I'm going to just put that aside. Next, we've got to do this jug and just getting the lid out. So I'm going to need to pack that lid nicely. Again, I'm taking a length of bubble wrap. I should have sat here from the beginning, shouldn't I? The first part where I was standing up. So sorry about that. See, I'm checking the edges. I don't think the light's very good because I've got a lot of light coming through the window here. Let's see if I can pull the curtain down. I don't know if that's going to be any better. Probably not. So the edges, I'm going to tape right here, nice and tight, so that edge is fully protected by that bubble, and the same on the other side, nice and protected there. So jug, the jug's going to get the same treatment as the first one that I did. You can see that I can double it, so I'm going to take a length off and fold it in half again. Now I could buy different size bubble wrap and make this sort of part of the process a bit easier, but you know, this is the stuff I like to use for all sorts of things, so I just adapt it where I need to. So I've got my length, I'm going to just roll it in there again, so I'm going to pop that on there. Just going to tape that over. I'm going to pop a little bit of bubble here. Now usually when I'm doing this, it doesn't take too long. It takes a lot longer when you're explaining it in a video. So I've popped some bubble in there, made a nice little crater, popping that in there. So now I've got a protected edge there. I bought some really bad tape a couple of weeks ago, 72 rolls I bought, and when it got here it didn't stick to anything, so it went straight back. You just don't know. Like, the thing with tape suppliers is quite often you can buy the same item from the same supplier, and month in, month out, it'll be different tape. Quite annoying. Same with bubble wrap, exactly the same with bubble wrap. And then I'm going to do the same with the edges. I want to make sure it's nice and protected. Don't know if you can hear the rain, but the rain's really loud in the barn, and it's absolutely bucketing down. Okay, so now I just need to make sure this layer that I've just put round here stays in place. I'm going to go around this way with tape. The tighter I go across here, the more protection that gets as well. Now, you might be watching this thinking, well, I was considering doing breakables, but after watching this, I don't think I can be bothered. And I completely understand that. But there's some real value in breakables. Once you start learning what to look out for, there's some really good money in it. So it is worth it. You know, if you're, no matter what you buy, you've got to do some level of prep. This is probably more than some things, but less than others. For example, I do not like cleaning trainers. So if we sell used trainers, they don't get cleaned unless they really, really, really need it. Okay, so that's that. So I've got 3 little packages so far, 2 jug things and a lid. And then next it's this one, which has a lid which you can hear, so you can't send it like that. Any impact on that is gonna trash something. So I've got to take that out. And again, I'm just going to wrap this. So I've gone round, and then again, as before, I need to make sure that I'm protected on these ends. So I'm going to squeeze the bubble wrap over and tape that real tight. A lot of items that we sell, breakables, we don't allow international shipping for, unless we feel there's a real demand, which often there can be. America, Germany, there's often demand, but you know, ultimately we try and make life as easy as possible for ourselves. And with international shipping, even though GSP, if we use GSP, we'll take responsibility for breakages. You know, if we think we can sell it in the UK and not get it broken, then that's what we'll do. So that's that lid done. So finally, I've got the big jug. Try and get in that tightly taped to give it an extra bounce, like a trampoline. And then here I haven't given myself much bubble, so pop a bit in. I said that you'll see this in our last sales video, but actually Faye's just recording the latest sales video, so it's the one before that, just in case anyone's wondering. We get a few questions about our sales, and that people look at our solds and they don't see everything, and that's because we have the out of stock option on. And with the out of stock option, you will only see things that have sold with a quantity of more than 1 that's still available, or auction. And that is purely because we use a cross lister which requires the out of stock option to be on to work. That's the only reason we have it. Back over here again. So I've got my parcels nicely packed up. Got the cookie jar thing, a jug, another jug, and 2 lids gone. I've got to go and shut the barn door because it's probably absolutely bucketing down. Wow. Oh. And I've got to, once I've finished packing this, I've got to make it back out. I've got to make it across there. Next, then I need to box these up. I'm looking for my coffee, and I've left my coffee in the kitchen. What a nightmare. So I'm gonna just pack these in these boxes. Now these are single wall, so they're not really sturdy. I could use 2, so I could double them up, effectively making a double wall. But this is gonna be enough because I'm gonna just pop what I can in one of these. Tape keeps rolling away. It's gone in, so that's the cookie jar. Next up, it's one of the jugs. Same box. These are from Kite Packaging, by the way. They're 9x6x6. They do all sorts of different, these are flavours, sizes. But yeah, they're pretty good value. Don't ask me what they are because I'll get it wrong, and then I'll probably make them sound like bad value. I think these small ones are around 15 to 20p, something like that. Now, one thing about boxes is that a lot of people kind of do their own thing with boxes, Frankenstein and all that. But we find that we wasted so much time just trying to find a box for something. If you buy boxes, you know, spend 30 quid, get a range of different sizes. It makes life so much easier just having boxes ready to go. Same with bubble wrap, same with poly bags. We just have a good supply all the time, brown tape, and everything's ready for us. Just don't have the time to waste trying to package things up or go scrounging for boxes. You can include the cost in the cost of goods when you list stuff, or the price of the item that you're selling, or whatever, however you want to sort of account for it. Yes, it's all cost, but you're basically trading time for money. Now this next one's a bit more wide, so once I've put it in, I'm probably gonna have to put another box over it just because of the dimensions. I have got a bigger box that I should probably use, but it's kind of the wrong big, if you know what I mean. So put that one there. See, like when I shut that box, it's all going to be hanging out, so sticking out. This one is a little bit, but I'm going to bubble that. Just sliding it over the top of this one. I've got a box in a box effectively now. I can close that up. Quite often with boxes, this includes FBA boxes, it's a lot better value to buy smaller boxes and just double them kind of like that than buying big boxes. Big boxes are expensive. But if you buy smaller ones, like half the size, and stick them together, right. So that just leaves my two lids. They can go in a box together. I'll put them that way because that's the most padded part. Okay, so they're quite nice. Now they are not quite filling the box, so I'm just going to whack some sort of fill in. That'll do. You really don't want stuff rattling around. Apologies for the tape noises. I did mention it earlier. It's going to take too long to edit all those out. I have done it before in one of our really early videos when I'm in the barn, and it was an absolute nightmare trying to edit it all out, so I'm not going to be able to do it. Sorry about that. Right, so I've got 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, needs a little bit of work, and 4. Now I've just got to find a box to put those in. I could tape them all together and then bubble wrap that whole thing, which I think is what I'm going to do. So for example, there's the 4 together, kind of put them in the same sort of shape. Now I can tape all of that together and then bubble wrap the whole lot. And then if I wanted to put it in another box after that, I could do. I've got some like banana box things, but I probably won't. I think I'm going to be quite confident. I'm going to wrap this within an inch of its life. I'm going to pop that part down, facing into this other box, so that the only thing it's going to hit is another box, which is obviously padded out with bubble wrap and what have you. I don't want that being on the outside. So here goes. Right, gone round once. I need to strengthen that up. Annoyingly, the tape with all the roll of tape with all the tape on it, the phone's leaning on at the moment. So I'm gonna have to use this one right up. Okay, so we're getting kind of secure. Couple more, I need to go this way now. I can see the phone slowly slipping, so you can't see what I'm doing. essentially I'm wrapping a box in tape. Happy with that. Now I'm going to just go all the way around. This is quite a faff. Usually I would just put all this in one big box. I do have a couple of boxes inside that might be suitable, but I can't be bothered to go and face that rain to get them. There we go, nice and solid. They're all attached to each other. They're not going anywhere. Now, this is where the 100-meter bubble wrap comes in handy. I am going to use a fair bit. I think that's enough. Here we go. So the main issue now I've got is either end. Pop a bit more in. No, don't use my bubble wrap, Simon. Don't do it. Sorry. Got to be confident that you could go upstairs and throw it out your bathroom window. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? Send stuff to FBA. You're supposed to like check that you can drop it from 5 feet. And I've actually done it plenty of times. In my old job, I used to sell like candles and glass jars and all that sort of stuff, all sorts of breakables, filigree lamps, so like sort of ceramic lamps, and we regularly used to drop them from the mezzanine floor level and see if they survived. And some didn't, but it was a bit of fun. Oh, right, I ran out of tape, so I need you now. I need your tape. Can you pass me that tape, please? Thanks. I've done that end. There we go. That is it. It's taken me a while. It's taken me a while because I've been filming it and kept having to move the camera and stuff like that, so I'm not sure what it edit down to. Hopefully it won't have been too long. I'll have fast forwarded through a few bits, you know, done the old speedy up bits where I'm rolling around and stuff. That now goes in a big poly. As luck would have it, I've got big polys. This is 22 by 30 inches. We do have larger, but this one should fit perfectly. I'm hoping. I say we've got larger, actually. I think we've run out, which is annoying. So I'm really gonna have to squeeze this in. When you're putting things in bags like this, make sure when it's a squeeze that the seam is bang in the middle, which this isn't quite, because if you're off, it makes it even harder to get them in. If it doesn't quite fit, like that one didn't, you could see me struggling with it. Just cut the bag open, I'm going to slide it in. So that's about how much I was off. So I'm going to just put another bag in here, just flatten it. Just put it in flat and tape round it. So hopefully Faye will watch this and realise what she puts me through when she buys stuff. I've got this gap. I'm just going to lay one of these just as it is. Not doing anything else with it, just laying it in and then taping around it. So it all looks like one, kind of look like one piece. Alright, so I am done. I've no idea how long that really took. Too long really in some ways, but every time the camera angle changed, that was because the phone had fallen. So Faye's using the tripod, so I need another tripod to do stuff like this really. But the phone just kept dropping over and a bit of a pain really. But there you go, I hope you enjoyed that. Now I'm not telling you how to pack things, this is just how we do it. So if you've got any suggestions, please let us know. This isn't you must pack in this way, this is just how I've done it and how I tend to do it. There we go. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now. I've got to brave the rain.